Hail State and hail Mike Leach. Rest in peace, Pirate. We will miss your quips. The Mississippi State football program and the football team will miss your sense of humor as well, your character, your integrity, your leadership, and also your scheming on offense, one of the great offensive minds in college football history. Mississippi State actually outgained opponents within the SEC by 95 yards per game, despite that 500 showing. Mississippi State now becomes defensive-minded under the leadership of now head coach Zach Arnett, DC in 2020, 21, and 22, a two-time Broyles candidate. His defenses finished top 5 in the conference in total defense, rushing defense, and takeaways in all 3 seasons. Well, you can't run a Mike Leach offense without Mike Leach, or at least an assistant from his coaching tree. So it's probably smart that Mississippi State is not even going to try. They go to a new offensive coordinator. Things are going to be more balanced under Kevin Barbay from Appalachian State in Central Michigan, where he did some fine work. This is a veteran-laden offense, which Aquavius Marks at running back, almost 600 yards rushing. That total should go up considerably. 48 receptions out of the backfield. That should go down considerably. Jaden Wally's back at wide receiver, 34 catches, 3 touchdowns. Lytrick Griffin, 40 catches, 4 TDs, and Rufus Harvey, who led the team with 53 receptions. No Ra Thomas, though. He was the game changer. He's off to Athens, Georgia, to become another kind of Bulldog. Will Rogers became the only freshman quarterback ever to start for Mike Leach. That says volumes. In an 18-year head coaching career, he was meticulous about his offense. He needed somebody smart and decisive and accurate to run the offense, and Will Rogers was that guy. Will Rogers took a step back and still threw for just under 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns last year. If he has just an average season, and of course he's going to throw the ball less than he ever has, but still they're going to throw the ball downfield. They've got the weapons, and with Rogers at the controls, they would be stupid not to. He is going to be one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the history of not Mississippi State. He's already got all those records. He's already the SEC completions leader all time. One of the most prolific passers in the history of college football. Still, the Bulldogs went out and got a complimented quarterback in former Vandy signal caller Mike Wright. He's a changeup in this offense. He's the runner. 12 touchdowns, 4 picks shows that he can throw it. He has started 6 games for the Commodores and had 517 rushing yards. Now back to the rushing attack. There are some incoming transfers in Jorquavis Spivey, who's back at Mississippi State from the transfer portal, 28 receptions, and Kevon Lee, who gained over 1,000 yards at Penn State in his career. New offensive line coach Will Friend should be a friend to this running attack and to Will Rogers. He has vast experience at the top rungs of the SEC at Georgia, Tennessee, and Auburn since 2011. The Bulldogs have 4 starters back along the line, bringing back 113 starts. The defense was really good last season to bring back 2 100 tackle guys in Jet Johnson and Nathaniel Watson. The secondary, however, after posting one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in all of college football last year, 15-14, lose one of the great thieves in history, Emmanuel Forbes, the all-time pick-6 leader with 6. Last year, the Bulldogs went out to Pac-12 country, one of the few SEC matchups against the Pac-12, especially heading out there. Now the Bulldogs get the return trip from Jed Fish's improved Arizona team. Bulldogs won that 39-17 last year. Once they dive into the SEC, the competition goes sky high right out of the gate. Bama, LSU, and South Carolina. Ouch. The rest of the conference schedule is manageable. Mississippi State from October on can beat everyone. However, everybody can beat Mississippi State. They're all toss-ups across the board. And if we look at who's most likely to beat Mississippi State, we'll consider last season. They strung together 4 pretty impressive wins in conference: Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Auburn and Arkansas. The most likely losses are, of course, despite being at home, Bama and LSU. And I always struggle with this in regards to projections, because would you really, as a Mississippi State football team, want your most likely losses to be at home, where you could possibly pull off an upset? Or do you just want to say, we're going to punt those games and you might as well lose those on the road, and we'll take the teams that are on our level at home? But they've got most of those on the road at Texas A&M, South Carolina, Arkansas, Auburn, all on the road. They do have Ole Miss and Kentucky at home before the 2024 SEC schedule changes drastically. Southern Miss is not a give-me for sure, and Western Michigan is the MAC opponent. Last year, the Bulldogs beat up on Bowling Green 45-14. We look at this Mississippi State team that won 9 games, including the bowl game. We believe that they take a slight step back. The road games are not good to Mississippi State within the SEC. Again, they're playing their same tier, their peers. They're playing those teams on the road. That takes 50-50 games and makes them 40-60 games. Bulldogs go 7-5. They still do have a wealth of experience on offense, led by their trigger man, Will Rogers, who makes few mistakes despite throwing the football up to this point in his career more than anybody in college football. The Bulldogs go 3-5 in the SEC. Leave your comments below, predictions on Mississippi State football as we take you through the entire Power 5 right here at the Voice of College Football.